Word. Word. Here we go. All right. YouTube live. Twitch. Reload. Video is canceled. Kick. Good to go. Twitch, good to go. Alright, happy Sunday. Kick's good. Twitch is good. YouTube's good. Alright, cool. Alright. Here we go. Sunday. Let's write a book. Multi-stream number 16. Oh, we got a lot of fixes here. What do we got to fix? Well, we just lost 30 words. Well, son of a gun. Alright, well, let's keep this microphone close and get a little closer to here. Well, anyway, that was a lot of edits from Grammarly. Probably not good ones. So I'm trying to stand on one leg, and it's like hard to get a good angle on this desk with the microphone and being able to type and stuff. Shout out to Lost in the 80s Vibes Radio. I like it a lot. Okay, so multi-stream 16. We're writing a book. Mercenary Reincarnated as a Chef, Book 3. We are 83,002 words. We were 83,030 something, but Grammarly did me dirty. So, today's goal is 85,502. But since the deletion, we're gonna go to 8550. That's the goal. Because, yeah, just because. What else? Let's see. Last Friday, that was 2 days ago, I did a recap of Mercenary Reincarnated as a Chef 1 and 2 and 3. You can check that. It's the stream before yesterday. Today I'll go over Mercenary Reincarnated as Chef 3, which is this book, what we did last time, i.e. yesterday. What else? Our writing goal is 500 words per half hour. That means to hit 2,500 words, we'll need 2.5 hours. So in 2.5 hours, it'll be 1 o'clock-ish. I would like to be done by 12. Let's see if we can get done in an hour and a half. I'll try to take only one break or less if I don't need to. At the end of the stream, I will look at Kick, Twitch, and YouTube, and if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. Writing tip. Been doing that every day. What's a good writing tip? I had one this morning. I was out on a daily ride, and I was like, oh, this is a good tip for everybody, and I couldn't remember what it was now. It'll come back to me. But what else? Oh yeah, so I'd like to get done by 12:30ish at the latest, because at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to start a podcast, the Story Forge podcast, episode number 2, with my buddy Dominic Mondesi from England, from the amazing and super free country of libertarian values and... I'm just messing. I would talk so much shit during it as well. But he's over in the jolly old England, and we're doing a Story Forge podcast is the name, and it's a podcast where we tell a story that we create off the top of our heads, so no pre-planning or very minimal pre-planning. It's kind of like if storytellers were having a rap battle without rapping. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Episode 1's on my YouTube page and on Twitch and on Kick. So what was the tip I was going to say? Man, it was a doozy. It was a really good one. It was so good that I forgot what it was. Well, flow state. Flow state. There's this idea this romantic idea people have that you can just sit down in a day and the muse or magic happens and you can just write a book. You just sit down and you write and write and write and write and write. And that is not the case. But, now normally when you say but, everything before the but you can throw out the window. But, this isn't that case. There are situations where you can be writing and you get in a state that's like that and you get a lot of stuff done. Like there's been sessions where I've been writing and I've gotten like 5,000 to 10,000 words done just because it just was coming out. But never a whole book. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. And anybody who says they've done that, show me somebody who said that and I'll show you a liar. 99% of the time. And don't take what everybody else says seriously because most people are liars and they lie mostly to themselves. That was it. Everybody's a liar and they lie to themselves the most. So remember that. So when you're writing and you have self-confidence doubts and you're feeling bad and blah blah blah, just remember everybody else is just as lacked the self-confidence just as much, and now they're lying to you about it. So remember that. All right. 2,548 words is what we're going to be writing. We are on chapter 24, 5, 6. Whoa. Man, we're killing it. 26. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, most of my chapters, almost all of them, are 6 pages. That's in Word. When they're published and in the book, they're much longer. And then when I go back and add the stats and tables and stuff, they'll be even longer. But 6 pages is a good average for me because 6 pages is about 3,000 words. So 3,000-ish words per chapter, varying 3 to 4,000 depending on how verbose you are. It's a really good length for a chapter for me, good average. And then also, anybody who doesn't watch me write, or hasn't watched me write, or is curious in their first time, 500 words per half hour. It's about a page. Page is about 600 words. All my books are about 1,000 words, 100,000 words. And that is 100% completion. That's how I gauge how far along my book in the book I am. So as you can see, 83,002 words means I'm 83.002% done. By the end of today, I'll be 85.55% done. That means I will only have 14,450 words to go. If I do 2,500 per day, that's 7, 8, wait. If I do 5,000 every 2 days, that is 4, 5, 6 days, so divided by 6, 6 goes into there twice, take it in, that leaves 2, 2, that's, 2, 24, it's A4, and so 2.4. 2,400 a day. Ish. I'll be done in 6 days, so that means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I ain't gonna be done on Friday. We'll see how it goes. I want to be done on Friday. Maybe I'll write a little bit more this week. Okay. Let's see. Let's go. Anything I'm missing? I don't think I'm missing anything. Streams are still good. Did I not change that? 15? 16, 16? I must have not changed it. I did change it here. Title. Huh. I thought oh, that's the old one. Okay. Alright. Alright. We are 10 minutes in. So we'll minus 10 minutes to whenever we finish. Here we go. Lou had... Oh, wait. Last time on Mercenary Reincarnated as a chef, Lu and company had assaulted the second ring wall, which is the second inner ring wall, which happened to be populated by enemy undead, mostly vampires and more powerful undead. Lu and company were very, very OP, and they ran through them with a quickness faster than they thought, and they finished attacking it and went back to eat. And Lu went to the kitchen to help to make dinner, and Diddy and company were already there, which is kind of a running gag. And they decided to make Nightmare, which is a large burning horse monster, shawarma shish kebab. And that takes us up to now. 11 minutes. Lu had found that the difference between the theoretical and actual was experience. The scientific world, academia, and other self-contained bubbles of society all suffered from the same exasperatingly simple problem, a lack of real-world experience. This had been drilled into Lu during his first Special Forces training, Ranger School. Nothing, and Lu meant nothing, was a substitute for experience. It was because every elite unit in every military throughout the world, in his past life, had trained as if it were the actual mission. Most people watched too many movies and had an unrealistic belief that when the going got tough, the tough got going. In reality, when the going got tough, those who thought they were tough died, usually in surprisingly horrible yet comical ways. Lu remembered once an overconfident ex-colleague had been beside him before a mission where they needed to skydive skydive in so as to get the drop on their target. The man had never skydived before, but was confident that they'd be fine. An hour later, what was left of them was digesting in the bellies of the crocodiles that had dined on him when his lack of experience landed him in the only body of water for miles around that contained crocodiles. Despite popular belief, the universe sometimes gives those who deserve it their comeuppance. With Diddy's team's help, Diddy and Lu finished cooking and brought platters of Nightmare shish kebab with all the appropriate fixings to the main dining room. Lu, bringing up the rear with a large serving tray. Lu brought up the rear with a large serving tray in his hands, the delicious meat scent wafting around him as he reviewed the recipe, its buffs, and the rest of the backed up messages in his mind's eye. Nightmare shawarma shish kebab, bonuses and ability buffs. Another message. And here we are. Let's frickin' go. He finished the last message update and set his platter of meat of steaming meat down and joined the others for the evening. Is it evening or let me see what I say. Breakfast. For the non-traditional, yet still delicious breakfast. Lou had wanted fondue, but never once in his life had he had a doner that was anything but delicious. Ditties But never once had he eaten a doner and been anything but satisfied. And Diddy's doner was out of this world. Okay. Okay. Now what happens? Now what happens? Alright, so we're here, they're eating. The question is, what happens next? Now in my head, the goal is to get them to the tower at some point. They breezed through the second circle. I know it seems too easy, but I'm trying to get some... I've only got 17,000 words to get to the end. And that'll balloon up in the next read-through, the next edit, so... Let's see, okay. The mood of the dining room was jovial and surprisingly relaxed, considering they were still in a very precarious and dangerous situation. Just because they'd been doing, just because their battles, just because things had been relatively easy lately, didn't mean any of the veteran warriors were unaware of just how close, just how much their lives rested on a knife's edge. But that was the same reason that everyone was able to have such a enjoyable time with one another. The specter of death hanging over someone like the sword of Damocles like the mental representation of the sword of Damocles was the quickest and most effective way that Lou had ever seen, experienced, to get someone to put their lives into perspective. It was why, after wars or other intense life-threatening situations, those involved became as close as family. Nothing was better to bond a group of different individuals than having them escape death together. Okay. Switching legs. After the meal, those who were off duty went to rest, went and caught up on some much needed sleep. Lou's team was off duty, so he suggested his team members rest and made his way over to Lady Monica's table, where Raphael and the three chipmunks were just finishing their meals. I finished their meals and were about to get up. Can I talk to you for a moment? Lou asked, sitting down. What happened? Sitting down and motioning for the group to stay with him. Lady Monica's eyes lit up and her smile became mildly coy and sultry. Finally, I thought you'd never come talk to me and I'd have to go to you. Lou gave her a blank stare and a few blinks before he registered her meaning, then smiled goofily and acted as if her whole play went over his head. Sorry, Lady Monica. I'm actually here to talk to your brother and Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. It was Lady Monica's turn to stare blankly, which she failed as her cheeks turned much more than rosy, and a strangled cough escaped from her puckered red lips. I see. If you'll excuse me, then, I have tasks that need attending to. Oof. Wrist pain is a thing when you're a writer. Oof. Stretch. Woo-wee, okay. The table, every head stayed straight forward at the table as the beautiful and obviously irate woman, young noble woman, stormed off, but every eye followed as discreetly as they could. When Raphael was sure that his sister was gone, he began a loud braying that welled up from the inside of his, that was so full of emotion, it seemed like it was welling up from his soul. My good friend, my boy, Demon Rue, you are truly a man with nerves of steel. The way you talk to my sister is like no man I've ever encountered in my entire life, young or old. you take the cookie. You take the cookie. Raphael cackled, slapping Lou on the back as if the two of them had been best friends since childhood. Childhood. Let's go. Lou suppressed his desire to shake off the conspiratorial arm around him, as it would make what he was about to ask that much harder, and instead resolved himself to move forward with his plan. He steeled his nerves and began his pitch, the smile coming to his face, one he perfected over 30 years of life. It was his best used car, best friend, savior, and blue steel combination that 60% of the time it worked every time. And if anybody knows what that's from, good. If anybody doesn't know, man, y'all be too young to watch my stream, dawg. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Everything's looking good. Here we go. We are 22 minutes in. It's 33, but take 11 away. 22, and we've already broke 550 words. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Hour and 40 minutes. Could be done. Let's go. 2,500 words, an hour and 40. That'd be dope. He put his arm over Raphael's and leaned in, gathering the four heads closer to the four, making the four others join him. I'm sorry about that. It's just that I needed to speak to the three of you alone without Lady Monica around. What I am about to ask you would probably upset her. The four of them shared a serious look at Lou's words before nodding and turning their attention back to him. None of us will lie to my sister. We are all honorable men. We're chipmunks. Or we're chipmunks. You get what I'm saying. Raphael finished with a flicking of his wrists. Lou suppressed his grin, getting the expected answer, and pushed on. I would never ask any of you to lie to Lady Monica. But before I continue, I'm going to ask you all a question, and depending how you answer will determine whether or not we continue. The looks the four of them shared now were more intrigued and less wary. Lou sat patiently in silence and let them convince each other that they should continue. His patience paid off, and Raphael gave him a pointed look and go on with it motion. I know, okay. What has your father, Lord Vermilion, told you about the situation at his manor? Also, tell me all the other information that he's told you and your sister. Lou said, his voice devoid of emotion, and he said in his emotionless robot voice, the one he liked to use to begin his interrogations. Alright, let's get to 1,000. Come on. 11 minutes would be 29. So at 29, we're at almost 800 words. 30 an hour would be 1,600. Oof, okay. I don't understand the question. What do you... Raphael tried to say with a laugh. Lou kept eye contact with the fake foppish nobleman, not saying a word or leaking an emotion. The quiet around them stretched to encompass the whole dining room, as they were the last ones left. Questione. The uncomfortable quiet stretched like a smothering blanket over them until Raphael and the three Chipamunkas began to fidget and sweat, all while Lou stood completely still and virtually unperturbed. The three chipmunks were the first to break, but Raphael was only a moment later. The four of them began snapping and talking over one another in a language that Lou didn't understand, but sounded bestial. So he was guessing they were speaking where chipmunks' native language. That's enough, Raphael roared in English, jumping to his feet and slamming his fist down on the table so hard it cracked. I am the nobleman, and you are my servants and guards. This time it was the chipmunks' turn to rise, which they did, albeit with the exact opposite actions as their liege. They rose so slowly and were so quiet that if Lou hadn't known they were sworn to protect the man, he'd have thought they were going to cause him extreme amounts of harm. Instead of intervening, Lou decided to let this pantomime play out. He just wished he had some popcorn and a Coke. That thought sent a pang of nostalgia throughout his body, and then an idea hit him like a flash. Lou sat back, exchanged some resources with his creation magic, and voila. Bag of buttery hot popcorn and ice cold fountain Coke were in his hands. There were no buffs and bonuses for him to consume the junk food items, except his mental well-being. Lou chewed, slurped, and sat back to enjoy the show. Okay. Final countdown. All right, 37 minutes, 38 minutes actually, to get to 1,050. Not bad. 38 plus 38, 76. All right, let's go. Next goal, 84.5, 11.11. One, two, 3, 4, 5. This is like a little idiosyncrasy I have, a superstition. I do it every time. I copy the chapter title and do it, paste it for the next chapter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then it'll be 6 here. So one more page. Lord Vermilion. What's going on? I hate when I hit the tab button. Alvin began, his tone respectful, but his entire body prepping for a fight. Oh, now it is Lord? Raphael scoffed. You three will not say a word. We will... This time, it was Theodore who spoke, who interrupted the man. And as he did so, the others, his brothers, gave him such an incredulous look that Lou realized that it was something special. And when he thought about it, realized that he'd never heard that Theodore's talk. Not once. Lou was now intrigued and gave his fully engaged and focused on the confrontation. Woof. Okay. Close. Good. Refresh. Stream hell. Not good. Novin Kumar. Hey man, I'm writing a book. So that's what it is. Writing a book live. Normally I don't answer comments and stuff, so until the end. But yeah, writing a book, 2,500 words today, trying to get it knocked out. I was just resetting the streams to make sure they worked. So anyway, that's that. Alright, 84,176. We've got 1,374. 1,374. Let's go. Do 1,300 and something else. Let's go. No. Raphael, your father, Lord Vermilion, gave us three full permission to override your authority if the three of us are in agreement. Right now is one of those times. Theodore stated with the finality of a judge passing a sentence. Okay, let's go. we will inform Demon Rue of what we know, and then decide how to move forward. You can be a part of the discussion, or you can go find your sister. The choice is yours, but those are your only choices. Damn. Lou whispered under his breath as he chewed. Raphael stared in shock at the were-chipmunk. Wife's home. Think. And Lou watched his face run through the gamut of human emotion, then finally settling on acceptance. He sighed theatrically and flounced back down into his chair. Fine then, go ahead. Get on with it. With a throwaway gesture. The three were-chipmunks waited a few more seconds. Then apparently satisfied with Raphael's response, turned to Lou, where Simon took over the speaking role for the trio. Since communication we've been able to communicate with Lord Vermilion and his captain of the guard about the situation going on with their current defenses and what they know about the other nobles and the state of Helter Skelter and the world of Soul as a whole. The information we've received is not good. In fact, everything that we've been told is a direct contradiction to what Lady Cecilia has been hearing from her father. This threw Lou for a loop, but he wasn't taken completely by surprise. Something hadn't been adding up with Lady Cecilia and what she'd been reporting and the news she'd been reporting from her father. The first notion Lou had that something was up was the other day when he realized they hadn't ran into any other defenders or survivors except the Tribbles, and they didn't count. He'd thought it weird, but had been busy fighting for his life, so had filed the thought away for later. We are almost at less than 1,000 to go. Let's go. 100 more words. And we will be down under 1,000 to go. We are at 1 hour and 3 minutes, minus 10 minutes, 11 minutes. We are at 52 minutes. 52 minutes of writing. And we are almost at 1,500 words. Yo, that's pretty good. 1,500 words in an hour would be pretty dope. That is 500 more words than I'm trying to do per hour. Oh, let me do a quick stretch. Oof. Oh. Okay, let's go. Bong, bong, bong. And focused on the now. Are you sure about that? He asked, needing confirmation. This time, all four of them nodded in the affirmative. Even Raphael, who had gotten over his temper tantrum much more quickly than Lou had thought possible. Then the cynical part of his mind came into play and realized that the whole interaction had been for Lou's benefit. There wasn't actually any animosity between the 4 of them. Lou didn't let on that he'd figured it out and held the knowledge in his hand for later use, for later need. From everything that we have been told, the only survivors in the city of Helter Skelter are those who made it to one of the noble manors or champion residences, clan or tribe. The nobles, the clan heads, the nobles, the clans, or the tribes' main strongholds. Everyone else, there have been no survivors found after the first day. The news from the Imperium is minimal at best, but from what Lord Vermilion has been able to piece together, they are in just as dire of a situation. We believe that the mayor, Lord Cerulean, is trying not to panic his daughter. But in reality, his manor is on the brink of disaster. If the second ring wall had not fallen so fast, we were not going to tell anyone. But now things have changed. we all believe that now we have a chance to save not only Lord Cerulean's and his people, but ours as well. Lou didn't even hesitate as he rocketed to his feet, full of energy. Why the hell didn't you say so? Well, I'm glad you told me now. There might still be time to do something. You follow me. He began moving at an almost run, leaving the dining room and heading out to the courtyard, sending messages for the others to meet them there as fast as he could. He didn't even hesitate to title the messages with large capital letters spelling emergency. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chapter 27. Let's go. All right. How we doing? 11:35. We are 1 hour 13:40. 1 hour 14 minutes in. We are at 84,764. We have 786 words. 786. 786. Let's go. Lou didn't wait for any responses and immediately set to work exchanging resources and for what he needed with his creation magic. Calling orders to Raphael and the others as he worked. Over the course of the next 10 minutes, every member, every person, every being, including Tribbles, not on defense, on guard duty, were in the courtyard under his command and carrying out his orders. Think. He was beginning to get a hang of his magical abilities, and in doing so had opened up a few new strategies that he had considered impossible. He had previously considered impossible. I, by no means, am I saying that what you are doing is crazy, Demon Rue. But I feel it would be remiss if I didn't say something. You do realize that if every sentient being in the universe were meant to fly, they'd have been born with wings or the magical ability to do so. Ragnar said cautiously. Emphatically. Lou took no offense and instead gave his first bonded a full belly laugh as he stood up from and stretched his aching back from being bent over for so long. I hear what you are saying, but this will work. Kite boards are not a new invention among are easy to use and are fun, easy to use, and exactly what we need to go to Count Cerulean Lord Cerulean and Vermilion's aid. Exactly we need if we are to aid Lord Vermilion in time. Shook his head tiredly. It was his team's turn to rest, but sighed and gave in to Lu. He sighed and shrugged his large, feathery wings. Do you want to be the one to tell Lady Cecilia and Lady Monica that their families are dead and we could have tried to save them? Oh snap, guess what? We are at 85,000. No, Demon Rue, I do not. But I also don't want any of us to die needlessly. And flying a contraption made of cloth and wood and seems like a good way for that to happen. I still don't understand why you don't use me and the dragons like a normal commander would. $400, less than 500 to go. Less than 500 to go. 1 hour and 11 minutes of writing. Not bad. Okay, last little sprint, and then we have less than 14,000 words to finish this book. It'll work. Trust me. Lou replied. My tribe uses those words as a warning to all young griffins. Ragnar said, a frown stretching across his beak. You worry too much. Now, watch this, Lou said, getting up as he finished, putting the finishing touches on the final kiteboard. Then turning and shouting so the entire courtyard could hear him. Listen up, people. I know that you have a lot of questions, but right now, time is of the essence. Both Lady Cecilia and Lady Monica's families are under attack and under siege by monsters from the tower break. We are... What? What are you saying? What nonsense are you speaking, Demon Rue? Cecilia, I gotta stay close to this mic. Lady Cecilia shouted, storming over to Lou, her face a mask of thunder and lightning. Mask of her face. The beautiful girl's face reminding him of a burgeoning thunderstorm. No time for explanations, Lady Cecilia. Talk to Raphael and or his sister. The rest of you listen up and listen good. I'm going to explain how these kite boards work. Now, first you are All right. 300. Let's go. 350. Let's go. 350. 15 minutes later, the courtyard was filled with the sound of almost 50 kiteboards with ultralight fans attached in a MacGyver like setup, meaning lots of duct tape. As they powered up and began to lift into the sky. In Lou's estimation, things were going quite well. He'd only had to fix 3 of the jury-rigged contraptions, and no one had been hurt much. And 45. And now, every single kiteboard was lifting into the air. Passengers aboard, and mostly competent. Ragnar Captain Griffith, Smog, and their teams had gone on ahead and were clearing the skies around them, and on the way to the innermost circle wall. This is really quite amazing. Diddy shouted gleefully from his kiteboard a few dozen feet away. Lou looked over and when they locked eyes, the bonobo scion gave him a face-splitting, ear-to-ear smile and a double thumbs up, causing the pubescent monkey-ish Beastman to lose his balance and flail, almost fall off his kiteboard. He gained control a few moments later, giving Lou a single thumbs up this time and a sheepish grin, which Lou couldn't help but laugh heartily at. Before turning away and okay. He looked the other way and saw Blanca Fang with a sour and almost angry expression on her face as she stared at the ground growing smaller and smaller below her. She saw Lou looking and transferred all her ire his way and shouted, "This is all your fault. I'll get you for this later. You know how I hate heights." Oh snap. This time Lou had no issue suppressing his laughter, as the Beast Girl was always kept her promises. Alright, done. 11:56, done. Woo! 85,000. Oh wait, no, we're not done. So close, almost done. Okay, let's go. 1 hour and 34 minutes, let's go. Come on, 100 more words or less. The rest of the grouping, the kiteboard riders, were either enjoying themselves with the novelty of the flying machine, or too scared to voice their complaints. Either way, Lou chose to not look a gift horse in the mouth. His kiteboard was now at the maximum height that the place's magical buffs extended. 500 feet. Ragnar, Captain Griffith, Smog. Are we good to go? Lou shouted, and as he sent the same message in his via internal while sending internal messages the same internal message says we're all the same. Sky's clear. The agreed upon signal Lou nodded to himself and then gave the command. Move out, kiteboards! Kiteboard riders! Move out! Alright, now we are done. Boom. 85,560 words. 1 hour, 38 minutes. Minus 11, 1 hour, 27 minutes. Less than an hour and a half to do 2,500 words. I am impressed. That was good. Alright, let me go to first YouTube, thank you for watching. Nobody's watching right now because the lag's so bad. But Novin Kumar, this is me writing a book. Mercenary Reincarnated as a chef. This is me writing a book every day, and it is my way of showing people how to write a book, my way of marketing, my way of doing all that stuff, my way of, yeah, so, and we got Kick and Twitch, and a powered up. Okay, so let me edit. What's this there? Title. I gotta edit that. Why is it not? Oh, that's the old one. I did that before. Okay. Any questions, anybody? I'm good. All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. Like I said, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Story Forge podcast number 2 with my buddy Dom in England. We'll see how that goes. And yeah. Deuces. Nobody's here, so peace. And stop.